To God be the glory. To God be the glory. 25 years ago, I had an opportunity to go to, at that time, was Pastor Billy Wilson. And I walked up to him and I said, God has called me into ministry. Oh my God, thank you. I said, God's called me into ministry. He says, son, I need you to go write down why you feel God has called you into ministry. As eager I went, I started writing. As a student, I went to him, and you know what I mean. I said, here. I finished my assignment. He looked at me, he says, it wasn't for me. I needed you to be sure of why God called you into ministry. A few months ago, I ran across that paper, and then I just started weeping because I realized the lessons that Archbishop Billy R. Wilson was teaching me right then and there. So when I do ministry now, I do it because he taught me how to do ministry. When I serve, Miss Carrie, God bless you, he showed me how to do ministry and treat people, even when they weren't treating me right. Even when they called me his do-boy and, oh, he just running around, Bishop, all across the country. Yeah, I was running because he taught me how to serve. So when he talked about me sitting there antsy, yes, I was antsy because I saw 19 different things that I could have been doing. Because I'm a servant. As he elevated, he realized that he had people that were around him that were really ready to serve God. And he elevated those people that were around him. Archbishop never went anywhere that he didn't take somebody with him. And so when he said to me, he says, Duncan, I want to elevate you as bishop. I cried again because, what did I do to deserve to be elevated into a calling as such? I understand the assignment of what it means to be a bishop. It's not about the collar and the pretty shirt.
Come on, Bishop. Amen.
It means that I literally sacrifice everything. When I started in ministry, my wife and my son, we traveled. Only reason my daughter wasn't here, she was in the military, so she was doing her thing, serving the country. But we traveled every single place at our expense. Our expense. We were newly married. We were just had a baby, and we traveled the country with him. Why? Because it taught me how to be a servant. So when I stand behind this sacred desk, I'm not standing here because I think I've arrived. It's not my education. I'm here because he appointed me. I stand here because years ago, and there are a few in the room who can attest to this, years ago, Bishop and I and a few others were talking about him transitioning from retirement so that he could be Bishop Emeritus in the Churches United and I take over. It was talked about that. We did not phantom that God would call him home to glory. But on July 6th, when he went into the hospital, none of us thought that he was going to go home to glory. On July 13th, Archbishop was up talking. He was talking to his family, and I stepped out of the room and went down the hall, and he was sharing with his family how much he loved them and how much he cared about them. And he was giving them assignments and things that he wanted them to understand about their assignment and the call. And then the Claritin call said, "Where's Duncan?" They said, "He's in the hall." They said, "Go get him." He called for me. And when I walked into the room, because I understood he was among his family, I stood in the back because I didn't want to bother the situation.
Amen.
He called me forward on his bed and said, "Duncan, you've been faithful to me. You've been faithful in serving and going where I went." He says, "Because you've been faithful in serving, I'm turning the ministry over to you." He says, "Not only am I turning over Gethsemane, but I'm turning over Churches United. So everything that I had belongs to you." I'm a crybaby. I lost it.
Cry with you now.
Because I understood what it took for him to serve. When we were traveling up and down the road, flying airplanes, when we were doing all of this, I heard the stories that he didn't tell me your business, but I heard the burdens that he was praying as he was praying for you. So while he was praying for you, I was praying for him. And so, if you are a part of Gethsemane and you are a minister, I'm sorry, I hold you to a higher standard. I hold you to a higher standard because the way I serve, you may not be there yet, but we gonna get there.